Welcome to GTC's Teaching Tidbits. Each episode, we explore a teaching technique, tip, practice, or idea from faculty for faculty. As we start a new academic year, GTC has adopted a new test proctoring tool called Proctorio. Our first 4 episodes of this season are focused on exploring the use of Proctorio. In this second tutorial, Shannon Creighton, who is the Director of Online Learning and the Curriculum and Instructional Support Center here at GTC, demonstrates the Proctorio Gradebook.
Okay, so once your exam, students have started taking your exams, you can go into what's called the Proctorio Gradebook. So you pick the exam that has your remote proctor turned on, and come over to the right-hand side, and this has your View Proctorio Gradebook, and that will be specific to this exam. So what you'll do is click on that, and this will bring up all of the student attempts that you've had on this particular exam. As you see, we've had one person take this, gives you their submission time, their attempt, their score, also gives you a suspicion level here. This is on the green, yellow, red scale. So there was a slight bit of suspicion with Jan taking this exam. So you can click on that, and it will actually bring up a timeline of where there were suspected things. Like you see the yellow and the red here. You can click on those, and it will take you to that time and show you what was happening at the time. And as you see, as Jan's face has kind of gone out of the camera a little bit there. So that's just marked as a caution. You might want to check it out and see what's happening. And again, this is marked red here because Jan is looking away from the screen, so we can see that that is marked that way as well. So the attempt ended when the screen test taker left the exam when it was in full screen. So this was one of the options that we had turned on was full screen, and when she exited that, it turned off the exam. Web traffic, remember we turned that setting on earlier. The test taker didn't view any other there. More than 3 attempts to calculate the exam abnormalities. So basically there's only one person that took this. Once you have more, you may get some things that say Jan looked away from the screen more than others or not, that kind of thing. Also gives you a lot of information about the computer itself, where she took the exam. The internet type was a business because she took it in her office. Takers, had decent performance. Internet performance was fine. So, so if a student says, I got kicked out because of internet connection issues or my slow, blah, 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 you can come in here and see what that information was and, if they were actually really telling the truth. So Proctorio, this is, this will remind you of where, of what your settings were. And you can actually adjust them after the fact. So if you get a lot of students who are, being flagged for navigating away or keystrokes or something like that, you can actually go back and readjust these settings, and it will readjust the score also here. So you can come back in and just kind of, watch the video. You can watch her taking it. It has a screen capture of what's happening on her screen all at the same time. You can make notes. You can make annotations at any point in this if you want to. So if there is, a point that you want to you make some notes and say, hey, I talked to the student about this, and just note it for future reference, you can make annotations to that, which I thought was fairly cool. The Proctorio map will actually show you where the student took the exam. So if you're curious as to where the students were, so if you think somebody may be taking it outside the country, that kind of thing, you can quickly see where that GPS has that computer located. Display options, you can turn any of these on, display potential hardware issues. You can turn that on. Help icon, sort by last name. So a lot of these that you can turn on, like if you want to hide the students' names or hide the grades or hide the video. And a lot of this can be, if you've got a student coming in and you want to hide certain parts of it, you can do that as well there. export options, you can generate a PDF that will have all of the information here. So if there is a student that you suspect of academic integrity issues and you confirm it, you can export this PDF and then you can submit that as part of the official file for the student, and it will bring in the exam information, the setting, will tell where the behavior issues were, things like that. So this will be a full report with screen captures that you can use to document your case for the student. It's coming back to the gradebook. It'll bring you here and you'll be able to see any IDs that they may have gone. So you can click, watch the video. This is her doing her room scan, I've got this sped up so you can see it fairly quickly, but you can see what the student is doing. You can see the video, you can see, what she's doing on her screen, and dive in a little bit more deeply. If you see a red, thing here, you can tell what's actually happening with the student. So if you get ready to export it, you can generate the PDF from there. You also have notes here, incidents. It tells you at this time, the student test taker was looking away, test taker attempted to change the zoom level. So you can go back and click on these and see what the student was doing at the time, that it may have flagged them for, abnormalities or things that show up as looking away from the camera or trying to go to another screen that's not allowed, those kinds of things. Again, you can go back in and readjust your settings as needed. So that is how you do the Proctorio gradebook.
One last thing I wanted to show you was how to get to the Proctorio Help Center that has a ton of video and resources for you. If you go directly to proctorio.com and click on Support and then Help Center, and then you'll scroll down, accessing the Help Center. You'll see here the Help Center is only be available to the users with Proctorio extension enabled. To access the Help Center, log into your learning management system or assessment platform and have a Proctorio enabled assessment open. So if you click on this, just by going to proctorio.com directly, you'll just be rerouted through this page over and over again. So what it's telling you to do is to go into your Blackboard, and we will find a course that has a Proctorio exam enabled. And I'll just go in here and I'll just click on the exam proctor, make sure that my system is refreshed. Then I'll click on Help Center and I'll go to Help Center again. And this time it will actually bring me to the Proctorio homepage. As you see, there are several different buckets here: general support, administrators, professors support, and also student support. So professor support, you can come in and see McGraw-Hill, you can see using best practices. So there's a lot of videos and things that you can look at here. If you've got specific questions, you can search for things. Great way to do that. So I just wanted to show you the little quirk about getting into the Help Center is that you actually have to go into a course that has Proctorio enabled first, and then go to the Help Center and you will be able to get in. It's a neat little security feature that they have built in so that you all can have access to it, but it keeps people that do not have Proctorio contract from getting into those. So feel free to go in here and look around and see any additional videos that you may want to see, or be able to check here for any other questions. Thank you.
A special thanks to Shannon Creighton for creating this tutorial and for making it available for this episode. If you would like to continue the conversation with Shannon, you can reach out to him by email at shannon.creighton@gvltec.edu. You could also reach out to the CISC department email, which is cisc@my.gvltec.edu, and a member of the CISC team will connect with you. If you have questions you'd like answered or topics you'd like covered in this series, please let me know. You can email me at rachel.cobb@gvltec.edu. And as always, if you have a teaching tidbit worth sharing or you know someone who does, please let me know so we can feature that in this series. Well, that's this week's GTC Teaching Tidbit, and we'll see you next time.